We're back. Wow, it's me. All right, we are going to kick it off. Before we get started with our startup showcase, we are very lucky to have the one and only Sandy Carter, Vice President of Amazon Web Services, to give us a little opening remarks. Sandy is a huge, she loves women entrepreneurs, and I would love to bring her to the stage.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Marianne. I really appreciate it. And I love being here today with all of you guys, especially checking out the chat and seeing all the great comments and everything that I've been here. So I currently work with AWS, but right before AWS, I was a founder and CEO of my own startup. For the last 3 years, I've been here working first as the leader for our enterprise workload business. So helping enterprises come over to the AWS cloud. Now I lead public sector partners and programs, which means I get to work with a lot of states and governments, education, healthcare, so many exciting areas around the world globally. For 13 years, AWS has been the world's most comprehensive and broadly adopted cloud platform. Blah, too much all at one time. And we love helping startups. As Marianne said, I love startups. I love helping startups. And I tell you, we have a very comprehensive program to help you guys out. We have programs for go-to-market. You know, a lot of people say that startups don't ever struggle with the technology. It's really all about how to take your product to market. So we love to help you figure out that plan. However, we do have free credits to also help you in the technology area too, because sometimes the technology can be that differentiator, whether it's around machine learning or artificial intelligence or even the Internet of Things. Being able to help you with that technology is really important. And then we have some really special programs. So we are here, I know, with Capital Factory, my great partner. We work with the Army Future Commands down in Austin, Texas. And when you're working with the Army Future Command, some of the things that are really important are being FedRAMP, having a lot of the security certifications. And so we do also offer special help like ATO, Authority to Operate, that can help you with your solution as you're going forward on that too. So hopefully, if you are a startup and you're listening in, this will be really important and very interesting to you to consider using AWS. Now, a few additional awards that I'd like to just talk about. It's always day one at Amazon. And I really didn't understand what that meant until I got here, which means that we're always innovating, we're always disrupting, we're always looking for that next idea. And that's why I was so thankful when Joshua Bear asked me to kick this off, because that's what it is today for all of us here at the Startup Competition. Competitions help to identify these unique and disruptive ideas. It's so fun for me because I've been on the other side. I've been the person presenting and doing my pitch deck and practicing. So what would be some of my guidance? What helped me to get through all of those very interesting pitch competitions, which we all love as well? Well, first, I would say let your excitement for your solution show through. Be, you know, just energetic about it. Don't be afraid to show that passion and that fun. I know some of you are commenting on my sign in the background. I'll just share a short story about that. So one of my solution architects had a sign like this behind him, since we're all working from home now, made of Legos. So this is actually made of Legos, Lego blocks. And I said, wow, my daughter loves Legos. So he packaged up the solution, sent it to her in a little kit right before Mother's Day and said, your mom loved this sign. Why don't you make it for her? And so a really cool story. She made it for me, presented it to me, and then he sent her a certificate about the build, that she was now a builder. So now she wants to be an entrepreneur. She wants to do technology. All that passion and all that excitement really makes a difference. As you're presenting today, I know that it's really easy to start a company. It's harder to grow a company. So let us see some of those great ways that you're scaling or you're thinking about scaling as well. I would also just ask you to let us as judges know where you need help. I would love to help you guys out. I see Jasmine on here. I see Sarah on here, Tiffany. If you guys are looking for some assistance, make sure that you ask for it, because we would love to know what else we can do to help you as well. So in closing, I want to say thank you for inviting me to be a judge today. Special thanks to Capital Factory and Accenture. It's a real passion for me to support entrepreneurship, and especially women in entrepreneurship. I'm looking forward to these great presentations, so let's bring it on.
All right. Thank you, Sandy. We're going to bring you back on in just a second with all of our other esteemed judges. Thank you for sharing your insight and some of your experience and wisdom. I'm going to bring to the stage now Tyler Baranowski. She is our accelerator manager and a dear friend. Welcome. Kick us off, Tyler.
Hi, Marianne. How are you?
I'm good. It's my favorite day of the year at Capital Factory.
Same. Agreed. Well, thank you for that quick intro. So as she said, I'm the accelerator manager here at Capital Factory, and I am just so lucky to be able to be working up close and personal. Maybe not that close. We're social distancing right now. But I get to work very closely with the newest and the coolest tech that's every day. I'm so lucky to be able to do that. And I'm honored to be part of this event today, to be kicking off the Startup Showcase, to close out the event. Today, you'll be hearing from 6 badass female founders from our accelerator portfolio, and they're coming to us from all over the state of Texas. Now, as you might have heard today at Capital Factory, we're working to introduce entrepreneurs to their first mentors, investors, customer, maybe even some new talent. And it's events like this today where we really try to make those connections. So how is this Startup Showcase going to work? Let me give you the rundown. We've got our 6 founders. They're going to take the virtual stage. They're going to give us their best 3 to 4 minute pitch. We'll bring our judges up to the screen. We'll have a nice interactive Q&A session for a few minutes, and then we'll rinse and repeat until we get through all the pitches. Then we'll sneak away for a quick deliberations with our judges, and we'll pick one lucky founder that will get to take home our prize package, which you can see on the screen here. We've had $10,000 in legal services donated by BakerBots, and our friends from True Wealth Ventures and Notley Ventures will have 2 VC meetings with that lucky founder as well. So thank you very much for adding that to the day. I also want to introduce our judges. So we just heard from Sandy. She was so great with Amazon Web Services. We have Sarah Brand here with True Wealth VC, Lawton Cummings with Notley Ventures, and Natalie Gonzalez with BakerBots. All right. So without any more delay, I know we've been waiting for the showcase. I want to go ahead and bring up our first founder to the stage, which is Beth White with MeeBeBot. Let's see. Beth. Hello.
Yes. Hi, Tyler. Can you see my screen?
We can now, yes.
And me too. Thank you so much, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm Beth White. I'm the founder and CEO of MeeBeBot. We're the intelligent assistant to elevate the employee experience. And boy, have we seen a change in the way that work is being done overnight. Work went from here, busy office places with lots of coworkers, to being solo in your homes. Today, the employee experience is so different. We have to support remote workers all across the globe. And what we're finding is that a lot of companies find this very inefficient and costly. In fact, it costs companies 20 to 30% of annual revenues in lost productivity. And employees really desire instant answers to their questions. They want that consumer-like experience. So MeeBeBot is here for the now of the employee experience. With our intelligent assistant that lives in tools that employees use in their daily lives, like Slack or Microsoft Teams, or even a web chat, our intelligent assistant automates answers to their frequently asked questions. How does this work? Well, we give an admin portal to our internal business users, people in HR, IT, and operations. They're able to use our curated content, edit it, and update it for their particular business needs. And by saving and publishing, they can have a bot that's live for their employees, seeing a dashboard to show immediate results. With our global portal, what we allow is for companies to get up and running quickly, which is what they need today. In fact, with the COVID crisis, we've seen so many different policies and procedures change that throw out the window the employee handbooks, benefit summaries, everything's changing in real time. With our solution, employers are able to update their information in real time to their employees. How it works is the employee asks a question utilizing one of the channels that's in their normal flow of work. MeeBeeBot cloud hosts our solution. We have our admin portal that sits on top of an AI platform. This platform has been trained against an AI data model in machine learning and natural language processing to serve up answers very accurately. Through integrations to APIs, we can actually personalize the employee experience. Our business model today is we sell a SaaS-based solution for $3 per person per month with a fee for our admin/AI platform. With 20 to 50 customers in the next couple years, MeeBeeBot will generate $4 million in ARR. Today, we're proud to have E2open, RetailMeNot, Massage Envy, and Epicor as customers. Our sweet spot are mid-market customers between 1,000 and 10,000 employees. We're happy when we were able to launch MeeBeeBot to Epicor as they moved 4,000 employees home from offices. In the first week when we launched our solution, it was right in the middle of the pandemic. Yet MeeBeeBot was able to answer 850 questions to their employees in real time. We are also able to provide a tremendous cost savings to our customers. We save them time, and time is money, both from the employee productivity side and the employer side. Our vision entails not only starting with an intelligent assistant for frequently asked questions, but growing out the solution in a phased approach to allow conversational workflows, personalizing the employee experience, and lending toward predictive data and insights to realize employee sentiment and engagement. What we need help with today is raising $1.5 million in an angel/seed round of funding. To date, we've accomplished phase 1 bootstrapped. Now we're ready to bring in some partners and really grow the business, and we want to hire team members as well as growing out our product solution. We have myself as a CEO, and I've brought on Myron and John, both people who I've worked with at a previous company, to help employees out, as well as our awesome team of advisors and consultants. Thank you so much. I'm Beth White.
All right, Beth, that was great. Thanks so much. Now I'm going to bring some of our judges up to the stage, and I'm going to kick it over to Sandy first. She had a question for you.
Hi, Beth. Thank you so much. That was a great presentation. I would love to know first what customers love about your solution, and then I would love to know which functionality they wish that you had.
Yeah, that's a great question, Sandy. Our customers love the fact that they can have access to the admin portal, just simply become editors of content, save and publish, and have those changes live to their employees without having to ask for development assistant. What they'd like it to do is answer more questions, and we're getting there. Today we answer HR, IT, and some operations questions. However, we want to grow out our curated knowledge base to help answer questions for accounting, finance, legal, sales operations, you name it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great. Next question's coming from Sarah.
Hi, Beth. I was wondering how COVID changed things for you guys and if you saw a big acceleration in the uptake.
Absolutely, Sarah. With the move to remote work, this became a huge need for our solution. No longer could you walk by HR's desk or IT's desk. They weren't available to you. So our customers had our solution in place so that their employees could get those kinds of answers even though they're not in the physical office. And for companies that were waiting on digital transformation strategies to help expand the employee experience, now's the time. I mean, this crisis is continuing where remote work may continue as well. And we still need to support our employees and have a great experience for them so that they can be productive in whatever environment they're in.
I have a question. How does this improve upon if the MeBot is answering questions based on content that's already provided? How is this better than just a word search within the documents if the content is already there?
Yeah, that's a great question, Lawton. A lot of companies do have company intranets, but at times they're very unorganized and it's hard to find the instant information people need. Our solution lives on a mobile device as well as a computer device, so people have access to the information at any time. And instead of having to go through complex searches to find information, you can get an answer to a question quickly and easily using MeBot.
Beth, I do have one quick question. I know we have to move on, but I'd love to hear what you're doing to protect your IP.
Great question, Natalie. I know you're at Baker Bots over there. And so right now, that's part of our process of fundraising is to be able to protect some of the intellectual property. We've really built out this amazing data model of a natural language process content trained to the types of questions people ask with inside a business ecosystem. Not only that, but we have this curated content library that provides a ton of benefit, and both of those are our intellectual property that we do need to protect.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Beth. It was always great to hear from you. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next pitch. We have Vina with Neuro Rehab. We'll get up to the stage. All right. Hi, Vina. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great.
Cool. Can you see my screen? Okay, you can.
Yes.
Cool.
Kick it off for us.
Awesome. Hi, I'm Veena, the CEO, co-founder of Neuro Rehab VR, here to introduce you to the next generation of rehabilitation. More than 800,000 people in the United States alone suffer from a stroke each year, and Joe here is one of them. The concept of neuroplasticity suggests your brain does have the ability to recover from a stroke. That is, the healthy parts of your brain can take over the functionalities of the damaged areas. But this requires extensive physical therapy and cognitive training. So Joe, he wants to get better, but physical therapy can be expensive. Clinics are far enough apart, so transportation is a problem. And on most days, he's too depressed to get out of bed. And on the days he does make it to the clinic, he finds therapy boring and tedious and does not want to do it. That's why we create virtual reality applications for physical therapy that are fun, engaging, and motivating therapy exercises. The company is located inside a clinic owned by my co-founder. So we have access to physical therapists and patients every day who provide us with constant feedback and help us create our applications. The offices you see back there are ours, so we get to see them use our products every day. As we started to work with these patients, we realized that each of them had a range of functional abilities, which varied vastly from stroke to brain injury to Parkinson's to MS. So we created a whole suite of exercises from upper extremity training to lower extremity training, stress and anxiety, cognitive skills, along with all the data analytics that they would need for progress reports. So this way, we're providing a turnkey solution for a clinic that can work with the whole of their patient population. We right now follow a monthly B2B SaaS model with a monthly subscription and a one-time setup fee for the hardware. The therapy is being reimbursed by insurance. We sell directly to physical and occupational therapy clinics, but we are also sell to large hospitals that have hundreds of clinics across the US. And our next step is to take the therapy home to the patient using home therapy and telehealth. We have had about 74% month-over-month growth. Our sales were briefly hit in April because of COVID, but since then we have had a spike in a number of people interested in our products. All of these sales was done through inbound leads through our website, and we've had a 300% year-over-year growth on our social media and website leads. We also received a grant for $245,000, which we completed successfully, making us eligible for a grant for $1 million coming up soon. And most of our customers, as you see, are bigger hospitals in the US. We also have a strategic partnership with Gorbel that manufactures our overhead fall prevention system, which works amazingly well with our products. They'll be selling it as a package. And also we can use their sales force that covers across the US. And we have a robust clinical ecosystem with most of the University of Texas schools in the area that are conducting efficacy and clinical studies. The outpatient physical therapy market is pretty big with $60 billion at a growth rate of 7%. But now with portable VR headsets, we can get into home health and telehealth market too. Our team consists of 4 full-time employees and our co-founder, who's also our investor. I have a background in medical simulation and training, so does the engineers on our team, and Henry here concentrates on sales and marketing. We've also added resellers to our team. Even though our core team is small, we're fortunate enough to have access to doctors and physical therapists that guide us with our technology and also the rehab market. Cheryl Apple here has held C-suite positions at large rehab hospitals that help us get into them, and our board members have more than 5 exits under their belt. So now coming back to our patient, Joe, now because using our product, he's more engaged in his therapy, he's more motivated. We have seen he's able to track his data analytics with his therapist, and we've seen increases in range of motion by 25%. He's able to hold his balance better, improve his muscle coordination, and decrease sway back. He's having so much fun in VR that his cardio is getting better since he's staying in therapy for longer periods of time. All of this is leading to more functional independence and a happier life for him. That's us. Thank you.
Great pitch, Veena. All right, let's bring our panel up to the stage. Let's see, I'm going to start with Sandy and Sarah. If you guys want to have any questions?
Yeah, I think this is really a great. Unfortunately, my father-in-law was actually just diagnosed with Parkinson's, so I can see a lot of uses and use cases here.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, me too. I am curious about, is this I didn't really understand, is this an application for your phone, for the computer?
It's an application that goes on your VR headset.
Ah, on your
so
VR headset. Okay, so you have to have an AR VR headset.
Mm-hmm.
I
so
see.
You're fully immersed in the scenario, and that's kind of one thing that helps our patients a lot is we can do things that you cannot do in real life, like scale up their movement, especially for Parkinson's, so that they feel like they're doing more than they actually can. And that kind of motivates them to keep going, finish their goals. And then being immersed, we've had patients who've had tremors, and their tremors go down by using our applications because now they're concentrating on the goal, that pick up an item or do a specific task. And that kind of leads to better muscle coordination and movement too.
Hey, Veena, if I just can add one follow-on real quick, is that okay, Tyler? I'm curious. I know that originally when AR VR came out that there were differences between men and women using the AR VR headsets. More women got dizzy, that sort of thing. Is that still the case? And how do you compensate for that?
So when the VR AR headsets came out, the technology was kind of nascent in a way. So they've had so much progress now. I play a lot of VR and I've had no dizziness at all. And it also depends on the applications that you build, right? If you're playing a roller coaster game in VR, I would say no, not to do that because there's a disconnect.
Thank you.
Oops, there we go. Oh, there you are, Veena. You paused for just a second, but you're back.
Hi, Veena. It was really helpful to watch those videos of the different, patients trying the different moves, and it made me wonder how you scale this in terms of how much customization is required for the needs of the different, physical therapy clients.
We kind of built in that customization with kind of AI and machine learning because at first when I created an app for a patient, it only worked for that one patient because then we're like, this can't be done. And that's why we had our MS patients who have very lower amounts of movement versus our athletes who have spinal cord injuries. So when we built our apps, you can increase the complexity and the difficulty levels. The therapist can do it. Some of our games do it dynamically, and that's kind of a focus for our next game. It dynamically changes depending on your performance from the previous time. So you're always challenged.
Cool.
Great. Natalie. Oh, go ahead, Lawton.
Sorry, were you calling on Natalie? Sorry.
No, go for it.
Go ahead, Lon.
Who are your biggest competitors?
Yeah, we do have competitors. One of them, called XR Health, is the biggest one, though they made a full pivot to telemedicine. Other than that, we have the most amount of applications, suite of applications than anybody else does on the module side of things. Then we also have, these AI features that others don't. So we don't really have too many big competitors. If they do, they have just one or two apps.
What sort of patient data are you receiving and collecting, and what sort of privacy concerns are you dealing with?
Yeah, we are HIPAA compliant, and we make sure the encryption, that all the communication between the headsets and the cloud is encrypted. When it comes to patient data, it's kinematic data, which is, joint angles, hip angles, your movement, velocity, acceleration, that's kinematic. And then we also have data inside the game, which is how did you perform inside the game? How long were you in it? We have specific metrics for each particular application to figure out are they making progress. So that's kind of data that we collect. And we don't really need PHI data other than a client ID and what was their injury, so we can correlate that for future users.
Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. We're going to move on to our third presenter today. We have Greta with Sales Boost. Hey, Greta, how are you today? Oh, your microphone is muted. Quick fix, though. There. How about now?
We're good.
Yes. All right. Let's bring up your slides. Go ahead and kick it off whenever you're ready.
All right. Well, thank you all for having me. I appreciate the time very much. So I am Greta Brooks, the CEO and founder of Sales Boost. We started Sales Boost in 2016. And Sales Boost helps organizations improve the value of their human capital with skill development. So an interesting statistic, and this is just growing daily. The World Economic Forum came out early this year and said by 2022, which is not that long off, that 54% of the entire global workforce will require upskilling and reskilling. And that's due to automation and many things that are changing within organizations. So it's a very important that we focus on skill development. So the challenge with our current training methods and learning methods is that traditional methods and training do not change behaviors, and they do not create skills. It requires, in order to train someone to earn a skill, it requires a lot of human interaction. It's costly, subjective feedback, and it's extremely time consuming, which is a lot of times why training doesn't really happen within organizations as well as they would like. And most importantly, traditional methods like videos, webinars, traditional classroom learning, it only yields 20% retention rate. So that's a very low ROI. So our solution is based on the science of learning. And we change behaviors through practice and rehearsal. We lower costs because we're on demand. Our price point is between $15 and $60 per month per learner, depending on the usage. We provide objective feedback using virtual reality and AI. So our objective feedback is our coaching and feedback that's personalized to each individual learner. It's micro learning. And so you can onboard your team on day one, and you can do it with 15 to 30-minute segments, so you don't have to dedicate time, energy, and resources to learning. So you can keep a continual learning opportunity within your organization. And most importantly, that you will retain a skill and develop a skill, and you will have 90% retention for up to 15 years based on science. So Sales Boost lives within EduTech or EdTech, and it is growing. The total market value worldwide is set to reach $252 billion this year. And the US spends about 6% of our GDP on education. And as we all know, only 3% was really allocated to technology. And COVID really showed us that we needed a better way to learn and to educate our students and our team members. So in 2019, 1.7 billion was invested by VCs. And in 2020, those numbers are expected to triple. And the EdTech market itself has a market cap of 71 billion. So it is growing. Sales Boost has a very, very special value proposition that's unique. We have the industrial patent for the voice analysis training system. We're the only on-demand solution that provides virtual skill-based learning on demand. So we can scale. If I had a customer that brought me 100,000 learners, we could scale, we could onboard those team members in 5 minutes. We have key players in our industry that know the subject matter, know the subjects. Our investors are strategic, and we have advisory board members within IT with strategic alliance and with customers, so that we make sure that we're aligned with the needs of what our learners need. Our strategic partners, we're working with many strategic partners, including Beekeeper, which is a communication platform, and Digital Seats, and many others to help distribute learning and education on mobile devices. And our clients and partners, we have many case studies. Our clients and partners have many testimonials and can share the success that they have. So we created a foothold in hospitality because that was my background. And as we all know, it's 10% of our economy. So it's a very large segment of our vertical in our economy. So we had in February of 2020, about $1 million worth of annual recurring revenue. And we have been pushed and prodded to go into other verticals, including higher education. So for instance, University of North Texas just launched their entire internship program on the Sales Boost platform for all interns, because they can't have their internship program on property anymore within a hotel. And so they're actually taking a virtual internship program with Sales Boost, and they will be certified and be able to get a job and demonstrate their value to their new employers. We're also reaching out into real estate, call centers, insurance, law enforcement, and security have popped up recently for reasons that we all know. So we're excited about the future growth. So Sales Boost can grow and scale into any industry. It's really virtual training for communication. I'll let a customer tell you a little bit more about it.
Greta, was there audio? Because I don't believe we're hearing it on our end.
So you can probably see what that's saying, but Tom Faust is just talking about practicing and rehearsing and how important it is and how impactful it is to their business. And in fact, our customers, thank you, Tyler. So in fact, our customers are such advocates. We have 94% engagement with learning and development platforms. That's almost unheard of. That means that 94% of every single user, and we have up to 3,000 users right now, 94% of them are in there consistently growing and developing and improving their skills. And that's why we have such a low churn rate of 2.4% as of the end of 2019. So we're very proud of that. So our growth, we're expected to go from $1 million in ARR in 3 years to $20 million with an investment. So we are looking for $5 million, and we will start our fundraise in July, and we'll be using that for sales and marketing efforts for our new verticals and then operations to scale.
Great. Thanks, Greta. I'm going to bring up Natalie and the rest of the judges. Natalie, let's start with you if you have any questions.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Greta. That was great. Thank you for that. I'm curious who your competitors are in this space. Obviously, you have a very diverse customer base, but who's competing with you right now?
Well, no one does what we do exactly, but the closest would be a simulation product called Mersion. And Mersion has to use human capital. They have to use human people behind the scenes to provide that, whereas we have no human interface. So they have to make appointments with folks, and then they have to have the avatars behind the scenes actually on deck. And so that doesn't make it scalable, and it doesn't make it easy to use, and it's expensive. So ours is a much more cost-effective and higher yield. The other competitors would just be regular in-person training and just changing behaviors from traditional models to new models. So we're really new in the market, and once a customer adopts to us, they are usually very happy to stick with us for a while.
Very good. Thank you.
Great.
I have a question. Okay, I thought Natalie was going to ask this, which is, what is your IP? I'd love to understand if getting to, from 20 to 90% retention is something that you've developed, or if you've licensed it, or what is the unique approach that allows for that?
Sure. So we just obtained our patent. Actually, a press release just came out today on that. So our patent is, and we just got the industrial patent, so it took 776 days to get that. So many of you may know what that feels like. It's exciting. But we have the only platform that is patented and provides voice analysis training system, which means that we are listening to what they're saying and how they're saying it with speech pattern. And then we're providing them with personalized coaching and feedback so that they can practice and rehearse and improve in a private environment so that they can actually improve themselves and become more self-aware of how they sound and how they're acting. So we teach people how to present, for instance, so they can improve their presentation skills, their leadership skills, their coaching skills, their sales skills, most importantly, service delivery skills. And so we have customers that G6 is just now, which is Motel 6, is just launching their product with us. And so it's really exciting to have a product that provides something that, trainers and supervisors can't do this work. So this really takes the onus off of the team members that are being asked to do something that is almost impossible to do. It wasn't easy to do pre-COVID, and it's even more challenging in this environment to actually give real objective feedback to individuals that's based on how they sound. So it gives them that personalized coaching and feedback that improves their skills. So this can be used in any communication opportunity.
Thank you.
Great. Well, thanks, Greta. We've run out of time for this session. So oh, Lawton, you've got one? Oh, you're muted, Lawton. We'd love to hear you. Down at the bottom of that screen, there's that mute microphone.
Sorry, I kept losing you on the screen. So there are two things. One, have you heard of Quantified Communications? Noah Peter Zandan here in Austin?
No, I have not.
So they use AI, and it analyzes using voice and sight. And so I think they're your biggest competitor, and it's all automatic.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to ask where you're coming up with the numbers for when you were talking about scaling and your revenue. How are you coming up with those numbers?
Well, we currently have customers. Again, they're within hospitality. So we have been in business since 2016. Our first full year was 2019. So we had recurring revenue plus annual contracts. So with our new business and the new prospects and the new business that's coming in, which is luckily coming to us now, it is those numbers. We will be at about 3.5 million next year, and then again that scales to 2023 to 20 million.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, great. Thanks, Greta. We're going to move on to our next presenter. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to be bringing up Darlena. Hi, Darlena. How are you?
Good afternoon. Are you ladies able to see my my screen?
I'm pulling it up now. We're seeing the.
Okay.
Yeah, I just need to click over to the other document, possibly. Fix that.
Let's see. All right, so let me try again. It's not allowing me to select just the application. It's just, I'll just do the, let's see.
We won't judge your inbox size if we accidentally see it. Mine's not that small right now either. Don't worry.
Yeah. And I'm having a hard time. It's not allowing me to even pick the power presentation as an application. Are you seeing anything now?
Well, yeah, it looks like we have your presentation here. If you want to go to full screen and then kick it off. I can see you have
so you do see
PowerPoint
where it
open.
says Roy. Okay, and let's see. Okay, do you see the handheld device?
Yeah. Are you able to go to presenter mode? There you go. All right. Kick it off for us.
Okay. So again, I'm Darlena Kelly. I am the founder and CEO of SemiDigi. And so whenever I'm asked to talk about what industry problems we're solving at SemiDigi, I always tell the story of when I worked in manufacturing. And I would never forget how one employee impacted our entire company. It was in the early 2000s. I worked as a simulation developer for a manufacturing and engineering company. I approached the head electrical technician to see if he would teach me how to build electrical panels. He agreed to do so. Training started off pretty good. You know, we did job shadowing. I asked quite a bit of questions, and I'm sure it slowed him down, but he didn't seem to mind. And so I'll say, like, a little bit into our training, I remember coming to work one day and he wasn't there. So at first I didn't think nothing of it until we found out that he wasn't coming back due to health reasons. And so when he stopped coming to work, my training immediately came to a halt. And also his absence, it impacted our production department. And when production was impacted, our customers got mad. So we had a lot of angry customers. Angry customers, that equal to a loss in revenue for us. And so there are several stories of valuable employees leaving these skilled positions, taking that knowledge with them. And when they leave their previous employees and colleagues scrambling, trying to make sense of their specific job task in order to teach someone else to pick up. And that same person who they're teaching may end up leaving as well. And so there is a major skills gap within the manufacturing industry. It is predicted that by the year 2028, it is expected that there will be 4.6 million manufacturing jobs to fill. 2.4 million of those jobs will lie vacant due to a skills shortage within the manufacturing industry. So an unskilled workforce leads to low productivity, violations and penalties, production issues, and all of which equals a loss in revenue. So how are we addressing the growing issues within the manufacturing industry? We're helping our customers close the skills gap and remain in compliance by providing them with our readily accessible augmented reality and virtual reality training content. By using virtual reality, our customers are able to capture and transfer knowledge, reduce the need of job shadowing, train on specific tasks, and attract a new generation of workers. So these are our customers. Some of these customers are really big names. Some of them you may have not heard of. And our largest customer to date is Emery's Carbonates. They're #1 in the market. They're the leading calcium carbonate and multi-mineral solution provider. They have global operations. They currently have 270 major sites. Some of their problems are constant EPA violations and mandatory annual training. So how are we providing them with our solution? We are expanding SemiDigi's annual subscription-based training content across their 270 individual mining sites. We have onboarded their Alabama site, and we are starting with their New York site. and we will continue until all of them have been onboarded. So this is our core team. You have myself. My background is in game development and animation. I've won several awards, one being named the top 25 women in technology back in 2014, and several others. And also have Mrs. Cardenas, she's our head engineer, and also James Utsi, which is over business development. And before I end, I would like to leave you guys with my favorite quote. And I think it resonates now more than ever with the normal that we once knew is no longer. And so it's my favorite quote by William Pollard. So learning and innovation go hand in hand. The arrogance of success is to think that what you did yesterday will be sufficient for tomorrow. Thank you.
Darlena, thank you so much. Great pitch. And thanks for sharing that quote with us. I'm going to bring our judging panel up, and I will have to limit it probably to just a couple questions because I don't want to make anyone late for happy hour this afternoon. So let's go ahead and start with Sarah and Natalie first.
I'll take a pass. So Natalie, if you've got.
Natalie?
No. Go ahead, Sarah. Go ahead.
I actually don't have a question. I don't have a
Okay, Darlena, I thought. Okay, go ahead, Sam.
Okay, sorry. I have a question. So great presentation. I'm really curious about the training modules. Do you use machine learning to in order to guide the process? Is that how the
yes, ma'am, we do
is done? And yes. So let's say that I'm a company and I have a manufacturing line. How does the training model get trained? Does it happen by the company or do you do it for them?
Well, we basically, we have engineers and maintenance technicians that we use. And so they put in all the inputs to the actual modules. And that's how we normally set it up. And so as far as with our general, ma'am.
Everyone is customized?
No, we don't. We're trying to get away from customized, and so we have a lot of general training modules. And so when you're like in manufacturing, a lot of that equipment is the same, at different companies. And so that's what we're doing. So we're going on more of a general basis, but we do provide customization for our customers. But everything we shoot for is general.
Okay, thank you so much.
Great,
You're welcome.
So I am looking at, it looks like in your SemiDigi, when you were displaying it, like it was on a tablet, but
yeah.
Are you also doing it on augmented reality glasses or headsets?
No, we use headsets for VR, and we use smartphones and tablets. And we do what I call non-immersive VR for a lot of our manufacturing. Yeah, so we don't do the glasses. We just have the tablets and the smartphones. And we do non-immersive VR for a lot of our clients that have issues with the dizziness with the headsets. And so therefore we take that VR environment and put it on a desktop basically where they can do the same things.
Because how did you make that decision? We invest in something called Upskill. And so they're able to be hands-free and they have their glasses and it's augmented reality. So you can see the manual while you're hands-free and doing it like that. How did you make the decision to go with the desktop instead of the glasses?
Well, first and foremost, it was more of a budget decision. So we have no investors to date. SemiDigi is self-funded. And so we're growing as strategically as possible with what we have. And so that's a goal of ours is to be able to offer that to our customers. But right now they're satisfied with what we're providing for them. And more of our customers are blue collar based. And so we have another thing with the budget constraints when you're dealing with blue collar workers. And so oftentimes it's cheaper. Basically, it's more budget friendly to have it broadcast on a desktop where instead of having them invest in so many headsets. And so we try to take in consideration their budget as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Great.
Because the goal is to make sure they're trained. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you so much for joining us. That was a great pitch. We are going to jump on over to our next presenter. We have Ellie with Skin Probiotics coming to the stage. Hey, Ellie, how are you?
Hi, can you hear me fine?
Yeah, sure can. I'm going to go ahead and put your slides up there, and whenever you're ready, you can get started.
Okay. Hi, my name is Ellie. Can you still see me?
Yes, we can still see you. You can continue on.
All right. Hi, my name is Ellie. I am the founder and formulator of Skin Probiotics. We started the company about 10 years ago when my children had eczema, and we bought a farm, and we tried to help them eat better and to clear their eczema and their allergies. And then about a few years ago, we lost our farm after Harvey, and so I just took the skincare part and just ran with it. Currently, there is a huge space that needs innovation for atopic dermatitis. It's an inflammatory skin condition that include eczema, psoriasis, and acne. And there's been no innovation in this arena for the past 40 years. Currently, people are treated with steroids, antibiotic, acid peels, or Accutane. They're expensive, they could be toxic, and they do damage your microbiome. And the microbiome are a group of bacteria, viruses, and fungus that live in and on your skin and inside your body. And they help balance out all your bodily function, and they perform all your bodily function. And there are a few bad bacteria that coexist, but they're in small number and they're kept in check. But when this goes out of balance, that's when you get inflammatory conditions. And our product is, we actually use live, active, over-the-counter probiotics for your skin. And our concept is the good bacteria will kill the bad bacteria. We did over a year clinical testing for safety and efficacy at a medical clinic, and the medical director became our partner. She saw how well it worked. She invested in getting us money to start developing the product and get it ready for market. And you can see here my first patient 9 years ago. She had severe eczema on both her arms. And after just using 3 weeks of Skin Probiotic, it cleared up. And then for acne, this is one of our intern at the medical clinic. She has severe acne. And these are untouched photo. It was just sent by her phone, and she gave us permission to post it. And this is chemo damaged skin, and it is using our eczema balm. And you can see the chemo damage on the first hand, and then on the second hand is just from one application. Atopic dermatitis affects people globally. It's approximately 20 people worldwide are affected. It's over $10 billion industry last year, and it's growing pretty much constantly growing. And due to stress and pollution and all that, it's getting worse and worse. And the countries most affected are China, Taiwan, the United Kingdom, and we're about 20% affected. Right now, our business model, we sell direct online, we manufacture in-house, and we wholesale to Asia. We just signed a agreement for a distributor to distribute into China from Hong Kong. We just signed the document a few days ago. And we've sold a lot, and our return rates are very low. We offer money back guarantee that the product will work, and we get like 2 or 3 refunds each year. And you can see our profit margins are pretty high. We reinvest everything back into the company. I do take a small salary to, because this is our only business, our whole family is involved. The past 12 months, we've made $130,000. We haven't spent any money on marketing yet. It's all word of mouth of referral. We are currently profitable. We kept everything low tech and low cost, and we manufacture in-house at our medical clinic. We filed a patent, but we kind of put that on the shelf for now and kept it as a trade secret until we have more funding. We have some competitors, Mother Dirt, Tula, Galeana. I've met Mother Dirt and Tula at the last microbiome conference, along with the FDA. We did talk to the FDA about using live probiotics, and they said there's not any definition of probiotic or microbiome or anything in their statutes, so they're not going to regulate it as long as there's no one saying, oh my God, you know, your product killed me. So it is going to be unregulated as long as we don't make any claims, and I'm very careful not to make any medical claims. Our exit strategy in 5 years is to become big enough to be acquired. And this is myself, the medical doctor, and my customer relationship partner. And we are asking for a loan and a line of credit to grow the business to the next stage. We're offering profit sharing and interest on your money. And we will be using the money to increase production, scaling, and get ready to fill orders. And that's it.
Great, thanks, Ellie. We're going to bring first Sarah up to the stage. Let's see, where did you go, Sarah? Sarah, what was the question you had?
Well, I guess my first question is about the effectiveness of probiotics on the skin. I'm hearing static. I don't know if anybody else hears that, but anyway, from my understanding, you need to keep it cold, and then once it's comes in contact with any preservative, like you might have to have in the bottle, it would die. Or if you put sunblock on and that has a preservative on it, it would die. So how do you get around that?
So we here's our product. You can see the cultures are at the bottom. We have a way of manufacturing this so it stay live up to 6 months at room temperature, as long as you don't expose it to extreme heat, like in your car or in your trunk, and you don't freeze it. Let's say you live somewhere very cold, then they stay active for up to 6 months. And when you use it, it's the probiotic by itself, and then you would mix it with like a serum. So there's no preservative needed. So it's a self-preserved system. And we came up with this idea because when we had the farm, we had a young man that came in with severe acne, and he's gone to so many dermatologists and on Accutane, and it hasn't helped. And there was not 1 inch of his skin from the chest up that wasn't infected. So I had some culturing milk. We were a raw dairy farm. And so I took cultured milk and rubbed it on his skin, thinking the good bacteria and the lactic acid will kill and destroy the bad bacteria. And his father, I instructed them to do that twice a day, and came back a few days later and said most of the infection has gone down. The redness and the pain has gone down. It was stinky and sticky. So it took us a few years to just isolate the culture and bottled it.
Great. Ellie, thank you so much for pitching today. We're going to be moving on to our last and final pitch. We have Sarah with Soda OG that I'm bringing up to the stage. Whenever you are ready.
Awesome. Do that. Okay.
All right. Go for it. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, might be on the wrong screen. Am I controlling it? Hold on. Sorry.
Yes. You'll just stay on your presentation screen and proceed like you're clicking through. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, it's working. Great. Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Kamala-Harrison. I'm CEO and co-founder of Soda OG. We're like super passionate. We're nerds. We're geeks. We're super passionate about making a difference in this industrial world. So we love driving predictive operations, primarily for heavy industrials. So what does this mean, right? This industry has a $200 billion performance gap. And it primarily stems from 24-hour operations, 24/7, I mean. 24/7 operations based on equipment, heavy-duty machines, and that's really the lifeblood of the operation revenue. And today, only 13% of companies actually utilize insight from this tech. And this is, so, the old school traditional thinking is performance at maximum production. So this really means it can be Coke bottles, paper plates, whatever it is, but you make 1,500 paper plates and that's your metric for how great you are, how your operations is. It really should be performance at maximum revenue. So let's break this down, right? Let's give an example. We have someone where, we have a situation where they shed in 30% of their operations and it made zero impact on the cash flow. That means that was just bad business. Another situation where they looked at their performance and 19% of their operations had delivered zero profit margins for 2 years. So this is where turning real-time data from machines, converting them into analytics and combining it with cash flow and driving predictive operations so they can mitigate, they can do something about it before it costs them hard dollars. So we had this idea and we said, hey, let's see if people are going to pay us to solve this problem for them. We know it exists, right? Of course, we're very familiar with a lot of the competitors. Me and the team, we have a heavy background in industries. And turns out they were willing to pay. And we only went after the SMEs in the first place. And 2019, we did 40,000. 2018, we did 850,000. 2019, we closed out at 3.5 million. And it's exciting. And I think my favorite part was fundamentally changing operations, fundamentally driving cash flow and fundamentally helping CEOs or the C-suite working with them and making a difference in their business through tech. And currently we have over about 47 million barrels of fluid, so many machines, and it's equivalent to about $250 million of value. So what are some of the components? You've got machines, and it's dominated by these heavy, like GE, Honeywell. They make sensors to look at real-time data from the machines, right? And then you have programmers, you have edge, and the new fancy word is now edge IIoT. But really, that existed a long time ago. And then, depending on the size of the company, you have engineers that are doing analytics in Excel spreadsheets. We call that by hand, custom graphs. Bigger they are, they're hiring some consultants. If they're even larger, they're hiring in-house programmers or outside programmers to build these applications just for them, to give them that competitive advantage. But all of this, you're driving towards the predictive part. And now, Accenture gets like a $5 million contract. This is by the big players, and you'll see that in the news, to just do discovery and see, how do you do this? How are you going to maximize my dollars, right? So here's what remote monitoring looks like. Here's what real-time data from machines look like. You're getting a ton of tags every 5 minutes. And it really doesn't make sense. And there's a lot of intelligent man hours going in just to decipher this and make money off of this. But what if it didn't look like this? It looked like this, where you're combining and you're characterizing operations on a very real-time basis. And you're giving them output and recommendations so they can further their business starting right now. And that's the core difference of what SodaOG does. We love what we do because really AI, machine learning, data science, analytics, none of that really matters. Our clients actually tell us that they won't pay us. They don't care where we come from. We can't really make a difference in their ops. We're done. So it's very, very critical to turn these equipment data into a cash metric that actually adds value. And even if you look at this, you'll see how their production went up right here on the top left. But their cash flow is kind of trending down a little. we have a lot of competitors. It's primarily the traditional competitors like GE, like Honeywell, Emerson. They primarily do, their business drivers are making hardware. They do a fantastic job actually on making hardware. And now they are throwing in remote monitoring for free. It's not intelligent, like, as we had mentioned before. And then there are a lot of other startups as well. But one of the fundamental problems of the startups is, you know, they put the burden of getting the real-time data from the machines on the client. So that's where they have a hole. So, oh, I do have my team. We have a very unique team, lots of very, very intelligent experience in the background. We come together very uniquely. My co-founder is Robert Estill. He was in the C-suite. He ran a AIM-listed company out of London. And prior to that, he was part of a Fortune 500 vice president as well. So this is us. We're starting our seed round. We're looking at launching that. But yeah, we've been bootstrapped to date and so excited to be here. So thank you.
Great. Thanks, Sarah. I'm going to bring up Lawton first. She's got the question for you.
Hi, Sarah. Tell me what difference 5G is going to make.
That's just a functionality of how fast you get the data from the machine. It doesn't analyze, it doesn't make an impact on analyzing it real time.
Right. Yeah, I'm familiar with it. But for your sales, tell me what difference you think it's going to make once it becomes ubiquitous.
Oh, I think that would be phenomenal. We use 5G is, I mean, like if you look at the Lego pieces behind our tech backend, it's all IIoT, and 5G or the rate of when it's coming in is just a Lego piece in that. Like our application today, like sits on AWS. One of our primary difference between us and the competitors is our competitors have traditional servers, right? So they don't pull all the tags from an equipment. So when we look at it, they'll pull 2. I pull 10 at a higher frequency. And I analyze 3 million data points at a snap of a finger. Well, you know, whereas they struggle on they struggle on so many different levels, right? Because they're more focused on selling the hardware.
What about how do you compare your 2 questions? One, how do you compare your product to one of, say, Spark Cognition's products? And what made you decide to stick only with oil and gas and the heavy materials?
So we inherently have a background in oil and gas. Was easy. And we're not just in oil and gas. Actually, we're in talks with a company that apparently manages 10 million square foot of office space. They want us to do something very similar on HVAC systems. So it's not just oil and gas. And that's primarily why we're going to be raising a round. So we can accelerate and we can further capitalize on the opportunities. But I'm excited because actually at this point, I think we'll capitalize on it. We'll figure out how to capitalize on these opportunities regardless.
Great. I want to thank you everyone for participating, all of the founders, all of our judges. We're going to sneak away and go to our deliberations so we can pick our lucky winner for the prize package. So judges, if you would like to join me there, that would be fantastic. And I'm going to kick it over to Marianne.
Thank you so much, Tyler. And thank you so much to all of our judges and all of our founders once again. What amazing pitches. I'm so excited to wrap us up here at the end. Before I do, this would not have been possible without our senior program manager, Mr. Menvu. Come on down.
Hey, Marianne.
Hey.
Here we are. We made it.
We made it. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks for being an awesome MC throughout this whole thing. I'm super excited to see who will take home the prize package. And we've got just a little bit of time while they deliberate. And yeah, I'm just going to get into our closing remarks. Thank you, everyone, for spending your afternoon with us from all over the world. It's been really exciting to see everything. I want to give a huge shout out to our title sponsor, Accenture, who's been such a great partner in this and really championing women and diverse, both in race and gender, and all underrepresented groups in tech. And they've been a pleasure to be able to work with. Google for Startups is also one of our great partners, supporting partners for this event. They've been such a great ally in creating ecosystems across the world of entrepreneurs. And Capital Factory, I know, is so fortunate to have Google for Startups as a great resource for us to be able to help the entrepreneurs that we're supporting as well. Our great community partners, all of which we got to chat with a little bit at the top of the summit. So that was really fun to get to hear what they were all working on. And I'd like to now introduce also Nicole from Google for Startups to kind of share a little bit more about what they've done and what they're doing. So I'm going to bring up Nicole right now. Hey, Nicole.
Hi, Min. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Great.
I'm going to pass it off to you.
Can you see my presentation?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. Great. Well, hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. As Min mentioned, I'm a partnerships manager with Google for Startups. I'm based in San Francisco, and we are a longtime partner and supporter of Capital Factory. So it's a pleasure to be here today speaking with this amazing community. I'm going to share a little bit about the work that we do, how we support startups, and the resources that founders can take advantage of across any stage of their journey. So our team's mission is to level the playing field for startups and for communities to succeed, connecting them with the best of Google. And one of the ways that we do this is by partnering with amazing organizations like Capital Factory and working with them to deliver programming, mentorship, product support to help startups grow their businesses. We have about 75 partners globally. Here you can see the organizations that we work with in the US. They range from tech hubs, co-working spaces, to accelerator programs like Backstage Capital and Techstars, to larger community event organizations like Startup Grind and Bunker Labs. Our partners are really valued allies of ours. They're the way that we reach great founders across the country, particularly founders who are underrepresented. We work with a number of organizations who are focused on closing the funding gap for women, for Black and Latinx founders, for founders across the military community. And we believe that Google can play a really important role in leveling the playing field for founders who have disproportionate access to the resources they need to scale. So this is and will continue to be a really core focus area for us. So what are some of the ways that we do this? First, around our products, we have a special cloud offer for founders who are affiliated with our partners, which means that Capital Factory can refer founders here today for this program, and you would be eligible to receive, among other things, up to 100K in cloud and Firebase credits, Maps platform credits, discounts on G Suite and Stripe Atlas, and more. So if you're curious to learn more, please do check out cloud.google.com. We're also in the process of piloting an ads program for startups in our partner network. You know, we recognize that startups need a different level of support to get the most out of their campaigns and to effectively optimize and scale their businesses. And we want to provide a really seamless process for startups at all stages of the life cycle to connect with the Google Ads team and get dedicated support. So some of what this involves is, you know, support around building out a digital marketing strategy, building and optimizing campaigns, and really measuring results that matter to you and your company. So this is still being rolled out, but if you're interested in learning more, please talk to the folks at Capital Factory and we can share more information on how to get access. Another program we're building out is the Google for Startups Sales Academy. It's run for 10 startups at a time over the course of 3 weeks. And you know, the goal of this is to equip startups not only with the skills to increase their customers and their revenue, but also to help operationalize their sales processes for their company. So again, this is a program we're currently rolling out, and we'd love to bring this to Capital Factory at some point. So if this is something you're interested in, please stay tuned for more information from us. Another way that we support founders' growth is by leveraging our platform and brand reach to highlight founders on our social channels. You know, by amplifying founders' stories, we think we can have a positive impact on their business and shine a spotlight on the impact that their company is having on their community and on the world. So you can see a few examples here where we've run social campaigns around, say, particular partnership launch, or where we focused on a particular community, like veterans and military spouses, or simply sharing stories of founders who have pivoted their business during the pandemic. If you have a tech startup that is scaling, if you're using any Google products to scale, if you're looking to raise your next round of funding, please let us know. We would love to highlight your story across our social channels. So I know much of what I've shared today is specific to our partners in the Capital Factory community, but I do want to share something that's widely available to all, which is our website, startup.google.com. Last year, we launched this new website that curated all the resources, tools, and best practices across Google that could help startups on their entrepreneurial journey. So here you'll find everything from toolkits on how to build an effective team and culture, to UX design tips, to setting goals, to leading a team. So these all live here in this one resource hub for founders. So encourage you all to check it out at some point. So to close, everything I've touched on here today and more can be seen on this one sheeter. So feel free to follow this link. Again, if you have questions on any of this, you can get in touch with me or the Capital Factory team. My email is nfroker@google.com. And with that, I will turn it back over to the Capital Factory team. Thank you for having me today.
Thanks, Nicole. Appreciate it.
Yes. All right, men. I think we have reached our verdict. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, before we, I think the deliberation has concluded. And so we'll just get through this quick because I know we're running a little bit over. But if y'all are interested in staying involved at Capital Factory, you can look at seeing what hosting a virtual event with us looks like on that website. You can follow us on CF Woman on Twitter for more updates. If you'd like to learn more about how to be a virtual community member at Capital Factory, you can email memberships@capitalfactory.com. We have a great accelerator program that you can look into, and also a great mentorship program as well that a lot of our members can engage with. Upcoming events, we've got Intro to Defense Innovation, Ask Me Anything, June 18th. We also actually have an Intro to Social Impact Entrepreneurship on June 23rd, I believe. But you can check out capitalfactory.com/events for that. Marianne talked about this earlier in the day. Fed Supernova will happen July 14th, along with the 100K Human Performance Pitch Challenge. And then we'll have a Founders Academy Essentials workshop, which is, Marianne, you want to describe that a little bit?
Yeah, Founders Academy hosted by our president, Gordon Doherty. It is a 4-day workshop, about 2 hours each day, kind of helping founders learn the essentials to being the best founder they can be, everything from fundraising to scaling. This is one of our best programs. I highly, highly recommend it. And now it's virtual, so you have no excuse. You don't even have to leave your house.
We've been sharing this in the chat throughout the event, but if you want to connect with other people who have attended this event, we're sending everyone to our LinkedIn group that we've created so that y'all can continue the conversation even after the YouTube chat is over. We also have a Spotify playlist that has some good jams on it, celebrating women in tech. So if you want that, some tunes for your workflow, follow that Spotify playlist.
Absolutely.
And now I think we're gonna bring up Tyler. Hey, Tyler.
Hello, hello. We have deliberated. We are ready.
Yeah. this is it. This is going to close out the summit, the Women in Tech Summit. So I
This
feel
is
like
sad. Should we stay here longer and just hang out? This was
Min,
so
we
fun.
didn't even get to sing.
Yeah, the rehearsal that we did.
I know.
We'll just have to do it some other time, I guess.
Yeah, I'll save my 8 bars.
Okay,
All right,
well,
so-
with that, we're going to announce the winner, close out the show. Thank y'all so much for being with us for a few hours. And hopefully this was really helpful. And we look forward to hopefully seeing you at our next event.
Yes.
Drum roll. Should we do a drum roll?
Let's do a drum roll.
Virtual
Okay.
drum roll. All right, the winner is Neuro Rehab VR. Congrats!
Yeah! Congratulations. That's so awesome. Congratulations to everyone that was pitching today. Y'all all did great work. Thank you so much to our judges, to all of our partners, to Accenture, to Marianne, to Tyler.
To
all of our
Minwoo, the one and only.
Thanks again, everyone. We hope you enjoyed yourself and have a great rest of the evening. Sorry we went over a little bit, but
See you in the fall. Fall Women in Tech.